We have a guest. Hello. You haven't done this to me on the podcast in ages. Oh, what are we doing? We're going over there now, are we? Hello, welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. Today is Sunday the 29th of January 2023 and this is episode 136. Welcome if you are a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my podcast all about my crafting week basically, and I have managed to get a little bit done this week. So apologies straight away. I have Demi, who is right here. I don't know whether you can see her. She probably isn't quite in camera shot. So she's decided that she's going to co-host today, haven't you? And just the other side of there, literally out that door, is Raven. She can, I would say she can see me, but she's actually not there right now. So there's a stair gate on the door so she can see in. So I've got the door open. Should my family appear, it's Sunday morning so everybody's still asleep at the moment, then I will shut that door. But until then I'm going to keep the door open because I don't really like shutting Raven out, but I wouldn't get any podcast recorded if she was in here with me. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're all going to settle down with whatever you're drinking. Mine is coffee this morning in my lovely robin mug, which theoretically again I think is a Christmas mug because it's got robins on it, but whether it goes away again or not I don't know. Right, so should we see what I've been up to this week? First up, so the Knitting Project is a rolling rotation of whips. So I have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6. There's a better explanation about it 2 podcasts ago, so if you are new here you might want to go back and check that one out. But day 1 is socks, and these are socks for me, and this is currently hanging out in my lovely Sherry Iris bag, which has got an embroidered lavender on the front. I love this bag so much. And in here is my current sock whip. So I did a Christmas Eve cast on, and it's the by the fire socks. Sorry Dems, just hit Dems with the well, if you're going to sit there that's better. Yeah, they're by the fire socks by Danny George of Little Bobbins, and this was my Christmas Eve cast on. So I cast on Christmas Eve and I kind of gave myself permission Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day just to work on these, because I had I needed to get Ira's baby blanket finished, so I indulged myself and I did manage to get the first one knit. So that's the first one, and this is a sock set from Lay Family Yarn, which I've been coveting for a long time but haven't really seen the pattern I want to use with it. And this is the Sugar Cookies sock set, and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's a 50 gram of the main skein, which is the kind of browny grey colour, and then 4 10 grams in each of the contrasting colours, which are the blue, that pink, and then this peach, which I've also used for the heel. So yeah, I really love them, and this is where I'd finished. I hadn't done anything more than just this, so I managed to this week during Socks for Me Day cast on and do the cuff. So I've got 2 more rows of the cuff to do before I join in the main colour, and then it's just knit a plain sock basically with throwing in a contrasting heel, which I love. I haven't quite decided yet whether I'm going to do another contrasting heel the same colour or whether I'm going to use the blue. I'm sort of regretting not doing the toe in a different colour. I'm not quite sure why I made that decision on the day, but I did. So I might actually, for that bit, maybe throw the blue in, because I think if I do the pink it's kind of similar colours, so I don't think the pink's necessary. So I could throw the blue in and I could have done 2 pink toes, but I am not ripping that out. So that's not happening. I love this. So the mini I've used for the cuff is not the mini that came with the set. So that's the mini that came with the set. So not just an undyed. But I was worried that 10 grams would not be enough to knit both the top cuffs. So I grabbed a sparkle mini that I had that was just in stash. It's actually a set that I bought from Chester Woolworks just to dye myself, but that's fine. I just pilfered it basically. It had 6 in the set, not 5 anyway, so if I wanted to do a set of 5 minis I'd be fine. So yeah, I nicked that just in case, but in actual fact I think I have actually got more than 10 grams left, so it would have worked, but there we go. I will weigh it and give the proper weights when I finished. I'm using 2.5mm needles, which is the suggested size for the cuff because Danny suggested go up a needle size, but I didn't want to go up to a 3mm for me because I felt that would be too floppy, so I stayed with the 2.5, and this sock fits me fine. I've tried it on and it absolutely fits me fine. It looks a bit scrunched up at the moment. It'll look better when it's blocked. So I have got another set of sock needles in here. So I'm thinking I was planning on knitting these concurrently, but I never actually did that, so I may pop them into my sock needle holder when I can locate it. I don't know where that is at the moment. And keep them for another KALS storm. But yeah, so that was, as I said, the Lay Family Yarn sock set, and it came with that colour, that colour, the white, not that one, where's the white? The white I showed you, which is an undyed, and what colour haven't I shown you? I've not shown you the blue, have I not shown you the pink? One of those two I've not shown you. That one I think is the pink, isn't it? That colour. And then that was the main skein. I love this colour. I seem to be moving into a period of browns. Not quite sure why. This is a new jumper, which you'll probably see better when I stand up. It's not hand knit. I wish it was, but it's not. I really love that, and I really love it because of this colour. So yeah, because I realised when I was putting my Christmas jumpers away that some of my Christmas jumpers were really warm, and with the cold weather it's something I kind of needed. So I have bought myself a couple of new jumpers, this being one of them. I love it. Right, anyway, that was a tangent, wasn't it? So that's day 1 socks. So let's grab day 2, which is baby knits. What you up to? You could go. Raven's just looking at me through the gate. So day 2 is baby knits, and this also has not got its pattern. It's in my working pattern folder, so that's under baby knits, and where are you? I've got quite a lot of patterns in this now. It's going to be quite difficult to show without showing. Actually, do it that side. There's not really much to show on that one. It's a free pattern anyway. So then that's what they look like. So these are the Baby Life Ring socks by Cat Bordy. And it's free on her website, which is www.catbordy.com, and it's CATBORDHI. And they are such a lovely pair of little baby socks. I made some for Johnny and they absolutely loved them. So I am now making some for Ira. That's hanging out in my Sew Amy bag. And I've got my little Robin notebook where I am currently marking off my rows. And this is what I'm knitting. Now, I'm fairly certain all I had last week was a toe, so I'm not quite sure why my progress keeper's there. I don't think that's where I was. I think I was just literally on the toe. So I've done a little foot, and I've done a little heel turn, and I've done a little slip stitch heel, and now I'm beginning to make the little life rings. So that's how it looks. And as you can see, I'm just starting to make, that's the first little life ring, and I'm going into the second. That is a lovely progress keeper from So Sweet Violet. And I love this, it's a sparkle as well. I don't know how much you can see it sparkling, it is sparkling. And this is still from the Dandelion and Dogwood Fairy Sock Bottle Brush Christmas Tree mini set, which is a 75/25, so merino nylon stellina. And so these are socks I've already made. That's one, that's two, so they've already been gifted. I'm currently on this one, which is 3. Katie commented she really liked this and would like a cardigan in this, so I might see if I can get a full scale of this colour or something similar. That's 4, which I haven't done yet, and that one's 5. So I'm gonna see whether I can get a whole pair of baby life ring socks out of a 20-gram mini, because I seem to recall when I was knitting Johnny's that a 20-gram mini was not enough, but I can't remember if I used 20-gram minis or if I used 10-gram minis. So at least now when I've done it I can make the note whether it works or not. So I am making notes, you'll see that later, it's in my Happy Mail section for a reason. I'm making notes in my craft journal, my daily craft journal, about things like this, which is where it's becoming invaluable, because it means I can write down the note of, just remember that you want to double check this fact, whether it's 10 grams or 20 grams. So I can remember it, it helps me remember. I'm loving it, but that is, as I said, currently in Happy Mail for a different reason, so you'll see that in a little while. So yeah, that's the baby life ring socks, that's day 2. It's such fun knit. They are a toe up construction. Now if you've never done toe up before, doing a baby sock is quite a good way of doing it. And the way she gets you to start your toe, there, if you can see, it's really clever, really clever. So I'd recommend, even if you haven't got a baby to knit for, downloading the pattern, because it's a free pattern by Cat Woody, and trying that toe and seeing how this little construction of this little sock works, because it's ever so clever, and it works really, really well, and it's a good introduction to toe up socks. So if you've never made one before, which I hadn't before I did the original baby life ring socks, this is a really good way to start. And as I said, it's a free pattern, so nothing to lose there. And Cat Boardie's patterns are really well written. So yeah, right, so anyway, that's day 2. I've got a lot to get through today, so I'm going to, my Happy Mail section is massive. Get to that in Happy Mail, but yeah, I've got a lot to get through today. So I've got day 3 garment. Day 3 is garment day. Oh, I am loving having them all up there, so I know where they all are. I don't have to go scrambling around for them. I'm going to blow my own trumpet here, but that was inspired. So day 3 is my Perec vest, and that is hanging out in this bag here. I haven't got the pattern for it. I have no idea where my pattern's gone, and that is part of the reason why I wanted a working pattern binder. I think I'm going to buy one more of these at the moment, and then when I'm storing patterns rather than working from them, I'm going to put it in that binder. So this is just my working pattern binder. And then I can swap them in, and then I can keep them rather than having to print them out every time, which is just waste of resources. So I'm going to get another one of these. I think they've got quite a few of these in quite a few different colours, so that'd be quite pretty to have on a shelf somewhere. But this one, as you can see, I keep going down on the floor. It's just literally by the side of my desk, so I can grab it for whichever pattern I'm using that, what's the word, that day. And again, it saves me having to scrabble around looking for patterns. Also means that when I've recorded the podcast, I don't have a little pile of patterns left on my desk where I've forgotten to put them back in the bag. Okay, so admittedly, if you're taking your knitting elsewhere, that's not quite so convenient because you're then taking a ream binder with you. But I mean, I guess you could just take it out on that day and pop it in your project bag if you wanted to. I haven't got into that scenario yet. Right, so anyway, this is my Perec vest. Oh, I am getting ready for this to be done, I have to admit. I'm enjoying knitting it, but this body seems to be taking forever. So I'm using lace weight. This is both Lay Family yarn. And that's lace weight, and that's her floof, so that's Surrey alpaca. It's really lovely. And here we go. There we go. It's getting there. It is definitely getting longer in the body, but it's this bit that this bit depresses me, I'll be honest. I'm like, oh, I've knit. So where's today this week's progress? So I knit all that. I was like, oh look, I made quite a bit of progress, you know, that's more rows than last week. I was really pleased. And then I look at this bit, which is the arm, under the arm, and I'm like, that's all I've knit. Why is this taking me so long? Things don't normally take me this long. And I'm like, that is literally all I've knit. And then when you bear in mind that to there is the rib, in fact, that's all I've knit. Maybe I should put a progress keeper under the arm, and then I can see the progress under the arm, and it might feel like more progress. I mean, scarily, it might feel like less as well. What have we got on here? Because I've got that one. That's actually a Christmas one. That needs to go in my Christmas box. But my little teacup I've got, which I think actually is also Christmas because I think it's a little hot chocolate, but we'll borrow that. Let's put that there, and we'll move Sheepy up as well. Let's see whether we get any progress this week. And actual fact, I think what day is this? Let's think. So today's actually day 1, which makes my life easy. So Sunday's day 1, Monday is day 2, Tuesday's day 3. So tonight I do guides. Probably won't get an awful lot of this done this week, so don't let me give myself a hard time about it next week. But yeah, love it. I'm really looking forward to wearing it as well. Seriously, I want this one done. And I wouldn't mind, but I have got at least 2 more jumpers now where I've got yarn for both. One isn't here yet, but the other yarn I have got. I'm like, we need to get this finished for that very reason. So that's my day 3 garment day. How are we doing time wise? We're okay. Right, bear with me a moment. Right, so day 4 is gift making, because at the moment I'm doing an embroidery, which is living in this beautiful little embroidery case that a lovely viewer of the podcast sent me. And I'm doing a stitchery kit which was from the 2021 advent. I love this. It's quite simple. It's not that challenging to stitch, or at least it hasn't been so far. I'm currently, well, you'll see in a moment, I'm on this bit and finding that a little bit more of a challenge. And hopefully once this is finished I can press it and it's going to go to a friend as a very late Christmas present. So I've got a little needle keeper there. I can't remember who those from. Is it on the card? I had a card. Is it on the card? Let's have a look. Wiki's Den it's from. There we go. I got a gingerbread house and a little sewing machine too. I got them a while ago. So I've got a little stack of books that says cup of tea and a stack of books. And then this is how far I've got. So I have actually finished the tree now, which I'm really pleased with. I'm really pleased how that's come out. It's not horrendous on the back either. So my friend, who is an amazing stitcher, will hopefully not be too critical of the back of my work. I'm sure she won't because she's such a lovely person. But yeah, she also has a podcast, so at some point you might see it pop up on her podcast. So it's not horrendous on the back. I mean, it's obviously not perfect, but it's not horrendous. And then, yeah, that's how far I've got at the front. So I just need to fill in the little bit at the bottom. And as I said, my friend is a prolific sewer and maker, and I'm hoping that she might, if I just send it to her like this, she might decide that she wants to incorporate it into something that she's making, maybe a bag for herself or something else. And then otherwise I would just sort of finish it off in the hoop. So it would, I'd wrap the hoop and finish it off, and then put a little felt back on it so it would look a bit like that. Which if I was keeping it, that's what I would do, because then it would just be a Christmas ornament. But because, as I said, my friend's such a prolific maker, I'm figuring she might just do something else with it. So I'm going to give her that option, and obviously she can just put it in a hoop if she wants to. But yeah, so I'm really pleased at how well I'm getting on with that. It just requires me to actually sit down and do it. That's funny, isn't it? I did use some of the Merchant and Mills Taylor's Beeswax, which I got as part of the self-made advent calendar from So Sweet Violet this year, and it did really stop my yarn from tangling, my embroidery thread from tangling. So I found that really quite useful. So didn't help that Raven had chewed my thread, so it was slightly crispy. So I had to kind of soak it and stuff first as well. So yeah, that was quite useful. Am I sold on it yet? I don't know. I don't know whether it leaves a residue on the thread. So for the red one I'm using, it's fine because it's such a dark colour, you don't notice it. But I do wonder if you were using a lighter colour, whether it would stain it. So I'm gonna, if you know, let me know. But if not, I will be using it on a lighter colour, and I can report back to you. But it certainly works in the dark colour I've got. And I did, do you remember last week I had that big giant tangle, which is what Raven ran off with, which was not helpful. There we go. No, that's not it. Where's my threads? There they are. I've lost my threads. So I have now put my thread, this is from So Re Me, this little bobbin. I have put it on there. It comes with a ring, but obviously didn't need the ring because I've only got one colour on this. I would have used the ring if I had more. And then that, when I've pulled it off of here and I only need 2 threads, I put the stuff that I've pulled off on here so that I know that I've taken 2 threads off of it, and then I can have 2 more threads, etc, etc. But I actually finished it last night, so I haven't got that to show you today. So I have put it on there, and it does keep it a lot neater and tidier. So yes, I'm enjoying doing that. I'm not sure I'm going to start another embroidery straight away after that because I haven't really got a slot for it. And I want to do my sampler, which I've got on the go. But I tend to do that in the garden in the summer, or spring and summer. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that. I've just realised A, I haven't put the Perec vest away, and B, the book out of the baby life ring socks is still sitting on my desk. So excuse me while I go sort out the back wall. Oh dear. So you go there. No, you don't. You go there. You go there. And you go in there. Oh dearie me. Right, so you're going to be next. So the next thing that got some love is living in this bag, and this is day 5, and these are my socks for Charlie. So this is a mission to knit my middle daughter a pair of socks a month for the year, and I'm failing miserably for January, and they're only a shorty pair as well, so I really need to get a wriggle on. But I took these, I kind of moved the project around a little bit because I went to Socks on the Beach yesterday, and I took these with me because I knew they'd be perfect vanilla knitting for chatting. So I did get the first one finished, which is exciting. I have not, however, sewn in my ends. So the last time you saw these, they were there. So basically this is what I knit yesterday. I did all the gusset decreases and then the foot. I mean, luckily Charlie hasn't got the biggest feet, so they don't take forever. And yeah, that's the first sock done. So this is the Skating with Penguins colourway, which was a Grindbad collection colourway from Woolly Goodness. And I have cast on for the second sock, and it is literally just a cast on, because I was by this point casting on in the dark in the car, and I was like, because that's not going to go wrong at all, is it? So let's not do that. So I gave up on that. But I did manage to Kitchener the end of that toe in the dark in the car, and that went okay, but I did have my net light on, but I thought I just gave up at this point. So that's the mini, and that's the main skein. So pretty. And I'm using 2.5mm Chalgo needles, of which I've just dropped one on the floor, because I do my socks on 2 circulars, and I've done a 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff, slip stitch heel, garter stitch heel turn, or wedge toe. So it's my standard sock pattern, except that normally I do a 2x2 twisted rib, and for some reason I decided I was doing 1x1 on these. Although admit it does look really nice, so I'm quite pleased I did do the 1x1. I love how this colourway is kind of almost self-striping. I mean, it looks more self-stripy in the camera than it does in real life. But yeah, it's really pretty colourway, and Charlie will love those. But I do need to get a move on. I mean, they're not going to be finished by the end of everything's falling on the floor. They're not going to be finished by the end of January, without a doubt. So, and obviously February is a short month. So I might struggle to catch these up till about March, but never mind. I might make sure February's are a shorty pair too, and then hopefully March I can start on the 1st of March, and she can have a longer pair. But yeah, so that's day 5 socks for Charlie, and it's living in, that's a little Sherry Iris bag, a little Sherry Iris summer bag, another bag I adore. So we're on day 6. So day 6 is the 24-day socks, and this one has actually got its pattern in here because I need to reprint the pattern out, because let's go that side. No, it's that side. Hold on. There we go. I need to reprint the pattern out because this pattern has kind of had it. and for some reason I decided that I was going to print it out. There we go, that's actually a better picture. I was going to print it out tiny, like a little book, and my eyesight's not good enough for that, so I will print out a different one for this. I did make some progress on these this week, which is brilliant. So the last time you saw these, I was there on this sock. So on this one I've managed to do a whole heel flap and the heel turn. I've just done a soft heel turn on that one. I've just done the normal stocking stitch one. Again, I have no idea why. That's just what I decided I wanted to do. So I've done the leg as long as I'm going to on this. Done the heel and the heel turn on that sock. And on this sock I have done most of the slip stitch heel. I haven't quite finished it. I've got about 4 more rows I think to do. I was so tired, I was like nope. And that's a little Simply Serving stitch marker from Les Family Yarn. So yeah, so I've done the heel, the slip stitch heel nearly. So the minis are from, look at all those ends. The minis are from the collaboration advent that I got this year, so the 2022 collaboration advent that Giddy Yarns arranged, and the main skein, which is this lovely grey, silvery grey, was dyed for me by Helen of Giddy Yarns for my Christmas blanket, which I actually didn't need that skein. Right, I'm actually going to shut my door now because I can hear my family around, and I don't really want to be recording with them in the background, so I'm going to shut the door. But that's my day 6 scrappy projects, and it's my 24-day socks, and they are living in my Craft House Magic bag, which I love. I love this bag. Right, let's shut the door. Put you around that way a little bit. Okay, so next up is either my goose egg quilt or my blanket. Which one would you want to see first? Let's go for the goose egg quilt because it's on the top. So this is living in my Elderflower Stitches bag, which was the Christmas 2022 advent bag. But I mean, that's definitely a summery bag, and it's got my goose egg quilt in it. The goose egg pattern is a pattern by Danielle George of Little Bobbins. Oh, look what I've left on my desk. Honestly, that might prompt me to print it out actually and get a new one in here. So that's in this one. So that's what the squares look like, and then you put all the squares together to make a quilt. And I'm on my first square. Now, I know at least one person that watches the podcast is also making one, so I would kind of speaking to you here. This is as far as I've got. That was the first quarter there. That one, so that one, that and that is the first quarter. I'm now moving into the second quarter. My question is, are you finding your edges too tight? Because my edges, it seems to, can you see where it's kind of, actually might be able to show you better on the back, it's kind of bulging out in the middle there, it's not laying flat. So I'm wondering whether that's going to block out or even out when you've got more blocks. But at the moment my edges, these bits here, seem quite tight, and as it's my edge I'm not quite sure what to do, because I love how it's picking up on the back. It's so neat, and the front obviously, it's very neat on the front too. So I don't want that to change, but equally I do seem to be getting like a bulge almost in my block, so I don't know whether, See, even if I stretch it, that doesn't really stretch out the bulge in the middle. So yeah, if anybody else is making this and can advise whether their edges seemed a bit tight, could you let me know? I mean, hopefully I will get this finished quite soon, and then I can block it and see whether it is going to be a problem. So yeah, so I think, I don't know where I was last week, if I'm honest. I should probably put little progress keepers on the triangles that I've done, but I'm fairly certain I did that one since I last spoke to you, and I'm just doing the first one of the green, and I'm still using the little accidental one that I made to go up there. Yeah, I love it, don't get me wrong, and because it's a blanket, I'm happy to fudge it, to be honest. I'm not going to not make it because of it. I love it. I'm just wondering whether that will be, whether I'm just doing something wrong. Well, I mean, they seem like, when I've knitted them, they're really stretchy, so I just don't understand what I've done to make them not stretchy when I pick up. Who knows? But as I said, I love how it picks up. It's so neat that I don't really want to change it. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. But that's my goose egg quilt. So this set is a set from Lay Family Yarn. And that's the main colour. And then I've got that purple and that yellow, and that's the ball band. So it's Goose Eggs Quilt Club Month 1, and it's all a 75-25% merino nylon, and there's 100 gram skein and 250 gram skeins. And just to show you this, I did actually do this. So that's my colour 1, my contrast colour 1, that's my contrast colour 2, and number 3 is just my main colour. So that worked quite well. I'm very pleased with this, and as I said, it's got it on the bottom here where I got it from. Yeah, it works perfectly. Saves me having to try and work it out each time I read it in the pattern as to which one I'm doing, which I'm very grateful for. Right, so let's get all this back in here. I should probably also say that I'm using my signature needles for this now. I needed the sock needle that was in it, so I have transferred it to my signature needles. Now that's a point. That one is more stretchy, and that was done on my signature needles, not the circular needle. I wonder if that makes a difference. We will see. See whether this picks up better, because I actually thought this one isn't as tight when I was picking it up, so maybe not using the circulars is a good move. So these are 2.5mm signature needles. Pattern calls for 3, but because I am such a loose knitter, I went down a size because I love my gauge in garter stitch in this size. So mine will work out as a slightly smaller quilt, although it might not, because I'm a loose knitter, and I had a worry about yarn issues if I was going to run out of yarn if I used the 3mm. So that is my goose egg quilt. I had a lot to say about that. And then finally, my square a day is not a square, it's a row. And this is the Habitations row by Curious Handmade. It's from one of the knit events, but it is a standalone pattern now. I'm sure you've seen this. If you're watching me, you'll have seen it on someone else's podcast. I'm just going to restart the camera, bear with me. Goodness, that half an hour went quick. Right, so I am using the clubs from Woolly Goodness from 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021. I'm currently putting in marches. And, oh, it's so pretty. So I've just seen it, there it is. I was there last week when you saw that, where this little progress keeper is. It's a corner of craft progress keeper. And I've done all that because the rows are getting slightly shorter now because I'm decreasing. I'm going down the decreases. So some mornings, if I'm up early enough, I manage to get 4 done rather than just the 2. And I love how this has gone into these beautiful kind of greens and yellows at the moment, even with a pop of brown in there. And then I think the next club, in fact I can show you what the next club is. So that's March that I've just finished. I'm just finishing putting in. I've got one more of March to go, and then I'm in April. And these are the April. So it's going to go into, I'm going to probably start that end and go into these greens and then through to the purples and the pinks. I might not actually, I might start that end and then go back into the greens, just because otherwise that's a lot of green all in one go. Demi is currently looking in the basket. So yes, that's my next lot that I'm going to be putting in. And these all sparkle. They're very pretty. I love this club. And I'm loving working with it. So yeah, that was the Woolly Goodness. Jenny has got clubs going again this year, so if you want to do your own habitations row with this year's clubs, I think it would be really lovely to use her pastels and pops club, because I think that would look amazing in a habitations row. That would be a really good way of showcasing the yarn. But yeah, this is what I've got so far and I'm loving it. That used to be my favourite section, that dark blue section in the middle there. That is definitely my favourite yarn. I love that. And then now I'm kind of drawn towards this section here. So yeah, love it. Really do love it. Let's move the progress keeper up so we can check the progress next week. And as I've said before, I'm using some of these circular needle holders, just one of those, to put my needles in to stop my stitches from escaping, because it does work quite well. Stopping the stitches coming off of there. Right, so that's that one. Only slight issue is I've dropped my mini. I mean, loads of me just diving off the chair, isn't there? Oh dear. So, where are we going now? We're going to a crossover of journaling and happy mail. So there's a lot of, next up will be a lot of journal supplies and happy mail for journaling supplies, and then I have got some happy mail yarn, so I'm going to do it that way round. Yep, we've got quite a bit still to do. Bear with me. It's going to be a long one to edit. Oh, this is heavy. This is my box of things to show you. Can that go on there, Dems? Do you mind? It's going to make my life easier if it's just there. Right, so first up, journals. So I got a new journal. This is the Girls Got to Change weekly undated planner, which I thought I'd have a look at to replace, I guess, my my daily planner, but it's not going to, because it doesn't quite do the same things. However, I do like it, and I love how it's set out. It's sort of got all the bullet journaly things that you'd like habit trackers and check-ins and morning routines, evening routines. And it's sort of goals, mood tracker. It's sort of split into 3-month sections, so you can like compare where you were 3 months ago, which is quite good. And then daily it's got an hour by hour to do, and I rate my day. What's that bit? Oh, today's plan. Well, that would go well on mine, wouldn't it? By the time I'd written that out, my plans will have changed. So I'm going to do this alongside my other planner, because this is the full year and I think it would be quite interesting to look back on. So I think I'm going to keep this more like my work diary. I'm going to keep this more of like an appointment calendar, and literally like a daily appointment, maybe put what meals we had and things like that all in one place. I might use it for like what books I've read as well on that day and things like that. Appointments when we're away. And we'll see what we, because I think it'd be interesting to see how things change, and maybe even from like season to season. The problem with that is I need to kind of retrospectively go back and do January, and I'm not sure I could be bothered. It came with a really big to-do pad, which I kind of like this, and I think I would stick that into my main diary when I'm done with it. That would be quite useful. And then it's got a today, so it's got today's affirmation, today's gratitude, goals, and again a bit of a to-do list. It's got that as a pad as well. I don't think I'll use this one at the moment. I think I might just pop that away as something I might use in the future. And it came with some little page markers, like little bookmarks, one of which I have actually got that I'm using in my podcast diary, my podcast journal, which so that's sort of hanging out in there at the moment for my notes for my podcast, which I've written show notes 3 weeks in a row. That's unusual. Right, so I am going through washi tape like it's going out of fashion. So I've picked up a giant box of washi tape. There's 100 tapes in here, off of Amazon. These are cheap and cheerful. They are no good if you want to wrap presents or anything like that with them. They are not sticky enough, but they are great in your journal if you're just like underlining titles and things. So I've got a lot of journals now where I'm like putting washi tape under the title and things. So I'm going through washi tape like it's going out of fashion. I thought this could be quite useful, so I'll do more of a review on them when I've actually started using them. But they were good value, very good value. I've got some really nice, lovely, like special washi tapes coming from Etsy, various Etsy, because Rachel So Maybe is one of my favourite washi tape people. Although I think I've got most of hers now, but I like using hers for like really special things. So that's my cheap and cheerful one. And also while I was getting that, there was this came with it. It was one of those, if you buy that you can get this for, you know, half price. And it's a it's got some papers in it and kind of stickers, and it's all summer, like spring season, because I've got a winter themed one that Meg got me for Christmas, which I've been using and I have now nearly finished, which brings me across to these. I don't know which one's which. That's my crafting journal, so it's this one. So this is something else I've got, book covers, because now my journal is a journal, it now needs a book cover apparently. So this one's quite good because it's got like pen holes in the front, which I haven't filled in yet. Again, this is an Amazon one, but I'm sure you could get them bespoke ones off of Etsy as well. This is my era journal, which I love. I can't really see me changing from these, if I'm honest. So this was yesterday's page, which I haven't filled in yet. So I've got some giant date stickers, which I'm putting over the top, and then this is how I'm decorating the page. So I've got washi tape down here, and then I've got the papers from the winter one down that side. and I'm using the washi tape. I cannot show you that page because it's got photos of Ira on it, and yeah, I'm going to struggle showing you a page at the moment because they've all got photos of Ira on them. Right, so if I stick that over there, there we go. So for that page, I am putting photographs on it. So as you can see, you've got Debbie being a meerkat, a spoiler for Happy Mail in a moment, and the cast on for my little Baby Life ring socks. So I use that as a background for the photos, and I just love it. I love the way this is coming out. I can show that page. There we go. That's poor old Meg's getting plastered last Monday. So yes, I love how this is working out. I just love this journal, if I'm honest. So I'm not sure I'm going to use the Girls Got to Change one. I'm not going to use it like this anyway. I'm going to use it more as an actual organiser, like a daily planner thing. Like a diary, I guess. An actual diary. So that's that one, and it's got that over the top, so it's fitting in there nicely. And then this one, it's got little pandas on it, and it's got a zip at the top. Has got my mini printer in the front pocket. It's got some print refills, and it's got a pen that I use all the time. This is a So Sweet Violet pen. I think I've got 2 of these. I use that all the time in my craft journal. So that's my craft journal, and go back on it. So not going to show you that page because that gives away who that present's for. So that's like my socks for Charlie. That's that was where I was before I started yesterday, and I do a progress photo for each one, so I know what it looked like before I started knitting. But this has got a new edition, if I can find it. In fact, it's got a couple of new editions. So number one, on the Toad Hollow podcast, they showed a tracker that you can, if you sign up via email for the newsletter, you can download for free, and I loved it. I loved the idea, and I've used it for the knitting practice. So it says habit tracker, but I will probably put a washi tape across that at some point, but I haven't got around to it yet. So I'm using the pink pen to fill this in, and I've got all of the days of the week down the side. So I've got day 1, my socks, day 2, baby knits, day 3, garment, day 4, gift, day 5, socks for Charlie, day 6, scrappy projects, then my woolly goodness blanket and my goose egg blanket, and then round the top there, you see, is the days of the month, and where I've coloured in, I've worked on those projects on that day. And I just think visually that just looks amazing. So on this side I've got weekly goals and monthly goals, and I've got when I've got stash arrived in the house each week. So have I got Happy Mail on the podcast? Yes, I have. And whether I've actually managed to podcast. So I've done 2. This will be the 3rd one. And then my monthly goals, I've got record podcast and fill in this tracker because I couldn't think of anything else to put in there. But yeah, I love this idea. Such a fun idea. And again, it's another page to go in this amazing journal. So I am now... Oh, right. So now I am actually using both the pages as well. So where I was leaving that blank page blank, I'm not. I'm just going in and filling in. Oh, that's the list of advents that I've got for this coming year. I've already got the Elder Flower Stitches one. It's also, I'm paying on instalments, so I can colour in when I've paid my instalment. So yeah, like that, I've got day 3 garment there and day 4 socks for Charlie there. So basically, if I've worked on it, on that day it's going in. It hasn't got a date on it. Let's just put the date in there. 28th of the 1st, 2023. So it should be like a daily track of what I've worked on. The knitting project did end up a bit round the wrong way because I wanted to take those socks with me to Socks on the Beach. So day 5 is there and day 6 is there and day 5 is there, but it's my project and I will do it if I want to. But it's all worked out so that today is day 1 again, and I'm like, well, that's useful. I can reset today. But I've filled in that much of it so far. And I've got all of those other ones, which I think I showed you in something. I don't know whether I'm going to fill them in or whether I'm just going to get another one of these because I love this. Love this. This is a Tilly Flop one, and it's just a project planner. It's just a project planner, so you can use it for whatever project you wish to plan, I guess. But I'm using it the way I'm using it. So anyway, I love that, and it's now got its little home in its panda. That's going to live in the panda, so I can keep all its bits together that I use for it, and I don't have to, it's going to be easier to find as well. Right, so is that all the journaling stuff? No, it's not. I've got some journaling pens. So I did get a box of these. So these are alcohol, pastel colour set alcohol based ink. And Meg sat there and put them all into colour order the other night. For some reason she was just like, can I put them in a rainbow? I was like, yes you can. So again, I will see what I think of these, and to ensure quality, these pens have to be stored horizontally. But they're in a vertical box. Horizontal's that way, is it not? Is that not horizontal? Would they not be horizontal if they were that way round? Rather than that way round? Surely they're vertical that way and horizontal's that way. Yeah, because that's horizontal. Okay, well I see a fly in that ointment, but I will try and make sure I lay them down. Because look, it's even got a carry handle on it. Okay. I'm really confusing myself now. So next up I've got things that yarn basically to show you, and a little bit of sewing. So first of all, I had a delivery from So Sweet Violet, and I got some hexies, and they come with hexie forms, which is useful. But I will just show you the pack I've got. I haven't opened them, so I've not seen myself yet. So what have we got? We've got that one. Do you want to sit through all of these? Because there are a lot. I'm actually thinking, do I actually want to take all of these apart? Ironically, when I ordered these, I was going to make a book cover with them, and I'm not now going to do that. I love that one. That's pretty. Yeah, I'm not now going to do that because I've bought those other book covers. So I'm going to make something as presents out of them. They're ever so pretty. Seriously, I'm not even halfway through the pack here, so I'm not going to do this because there are loads. So let's just give you a general idea of what they're like. So that's a stripy one. That's got little florals on it. There we go. Gibson, isn't it? That one. Oh, that's pretty. Candy stripe. Oh, and randomly another candy stripe. Oh, that's pretty. Look. Right through to that one at the end. So they're beautiful. And I'm now going to, as I said, I would have regretted taking them all apart, because that would take me a while to put them all back together again. They're never going to go back in the neat stack that Jules and Bryony had done, that's for sure. Excellent. And then the other thing was that, am I missing a mini? No. Jules made these cute little buckets, and I love it. I love this bucket so much. As soon as I saw them on her Patreon, I was like, I want one of those. I'm definitely going to stalk that update. And okay, get off. Come off, come off, come off, come off, come off. Sorry, my cat is trying to come off. Anybody want a ginger cat? Got one going free. Let's shut the laptop so you can't do that again. Oh dear. This podcast is going to be so professional this week because I'm doing minimal editing, so I apologise when I leave all these bits in. Why is it still making noise? And another half hour goes by. Oh dear, this is going to be a long one, guys. Right, so as I was saying, I love this pot. I stalked the update because I really wanted the pot, but to add to its amazing value, it's got some beautiful bits in it, as Jules calls them, and they are very beautiful. So it's come with some little beautifully wound minis. These I will show you because there's only 6 of them, and I love them. I'm fairly certain that is Frosty Flakes and Candy Canes, Dandelion and Dogwood, because I've got a full skein yarn of that. But they're just so pretty. I might make some shorty scrappy socks with these. So I think I could probably do that. I think they're 10 grams, so I think it's 60 grams. I'm sure I can get a pair of shorties out of 60 grams. So lovely. Really pretty. So they are just sitting on my desk near my computer, and every time I look at them it just makes me happy. So that's that one. So that was my So Sweet Violet order. I had one of those moments where you impulse buy. I mean, I don't regret it, but I saw this on a D-stash, and it's a Sherry Iris yarn, so you know, bonus. And Laura, who is Laura's D-stash, I think, is D-stashing some of her yarn, and it's this one is, what one are you? Spring is in the Air, which I never had. I didn't get the Spring is in the Air club, so that's exciting. And then this one is the Summer Celebration box, which I did get, and I loved it so much that I am absolutely over the moon that I managed to get another set of that. So that was amazing. And then there's, I'm not getting them all out because there's just so much of it. Yeah. So there's a what's this one? Wildflowers minis, and they're all like the pastel colours that I love. Then also there was a set of DK minis as well, which I thought I'd use to make another blanket for Ira. I think there's probably enough in there to make a small blanket. So it's incredible the amount of yarn that I have purchased that I probably shouldn't and probably didn't need, but oh my, do I love it. I'm so pleased. She also very kindly sent all the extras that came with it as well, so all the little cards that came with the Sherry Iris bits. So that will go in my journal at some point. Sorry Demi, that's living down there because I have no way to do it. She also sent, bless her, thank you very much Laura, a little extra, which is a DK sock set called Sweet Bluebird, and is a Nora George sock set. And she did say either I could keep it or I could use it as a podcast prize, but bearing in mind I'm majorly behind on podcast prizes, I think I will put it in the prize pot for a podcast prize. It's very pretty. That you can hear right now is Raven scraping my door. Right, so next up is a spoiler warning. I did say this last week because I didn't think I'd have any happy moments. This is the Nature Journal box. So it comes with this cute little bucket, which has got this very neat pinstripe on the outside and this beautiful micro stripe on the inside. So pretty. Now it's got a little box bottom so it will stand up. So it's got that. It came with a beautiful little matching lavender pouch. Smells amazing. It came with a main skein. So this is a 75%, 25%. What she's doing. Sherry Iris sock. It's beautiful. Colours, speckles of dark blue, and oh, it's beautiful, really lovely. So that's that one, and then it came with a set of minis. So and it came with 6 minis. So that's the yarn band. Oh, it's these beautiful minis. They'd make such lovely socks. They'd be very elegant, that's the word I'm looking for. Scrappy socks. If you can use the word elegant, scrappy in the same sentence. I'm not sure you can. But they're lovely. Absolutely beautiful. And also with it was a stitching project. So it's a little wren. And I believe Sherry's going to do a tutorial for him. I really hope Sherry's going to do a tutorial for him, or I'm going to struggle. But he's lovely. So I might stitch that. I don't know. Again, that might just wait until the summer months. So that's it. No, it's not it for the journal box. There's something else to show you. Hold on, because this was all based, I think, on the wren. And there's a beautiful little picture as well, one of Chris's paintings. I've got a collage photo frame up there that's got loads of these paintings in. But that one will go in my diary, my journal. I hasten to call it, I hesitate rather to call it a junk journal when it's got something so lovely going in it, because that is definitely not junk. Right, lastly, again is an acquisition but not happy mail. I was lucky enough to go to Socks on the Beach yesterday with my lovely friend Sally, and got to see a few podcast viewers there. Hello. And one of the things you do is you take some minis and you swap. And the idea is that you kind of take back the number that you brought, and I brought 5 and brought back 4. So I'm down 1 mini, yes! But these are the minis I chose. So this is my first one. They're pretty. I think I've still got minis from the last time. I'm wondering whether I should make a Socks on the Beach blanket, like just do like a crochet blanket. This one, which is Mothy and the Squid, Frosty Wind Made Moan, which is pretty. I've got a Hedgerow Yarns Merino Singles, so that's a single, which is beautiful. I mean, there's a Hedgerow Yarns in there. I'm going to have that one, aren't I? And then another one that's not got a label on it, but it's very pretty. Really pretty. But yeah, so I'm wondering whether to find the ones that I'm hoping that if I look back on my podcast, I will actually have shown them, so I know which ones they are. You never know your luck. So yeah, I think we can honestly say I had more than my fair share of bits and pieces come in this week, and I now need to find homes for a lot of it. So next week's basket might be a lot emptier. I'm trying to think if I've got anything I know that's arriving next week. I don't think I have. Have I bought anything? Oh, do you know what? I have got something else to show you, but I will leave that for next week. I had a Woolly Goodness delivery, but I haven't opened that box yet, so I will save that for next week. And also I've got a little extra bonus video that I'm planning on recording this afternoon if I get this all edited in time. Otherwise I will record it tomorrow. But I'm not going to give anything away because it's a bit of a surprise. I have run it past a dear friend and she thinks it's a great idea, so hopefully other people will enjoy it too. If not, I know she will. Right, I'm going to wrap it there because I honestly think this thing is going to be so long. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. I apologise for background noises from the animals and my little furry co-host that is now just here. And next week I am at the caravan. We're going to the caravan from Thursday. So I'm thinking I may end up recording the podcast on Saturday from the caravan because Sunday we're coming back here. But I probably won't be back till mid-afternoon. But then I might still record. The only problem with that is the light, but then I've got no light today because it's such a grey day outside. So I didn't have any light anyway. So, because Sunday is working for me at the moment, but obviously doesn't work for me when we're away, which is a little bit of a problem. Yeah. I will get back to you on that. Anyway, starting again. I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I will see you at some point next week.